before a woman will cheat, it takes a lot for a woman to cheat. So that's why I'm not mentioning women here. Because before a woman is going to cheat, it's like something, a whole lot of
First
things.
of all, that is such a lie.
The ratio of women who cheat to men.
It is so crazy.
You will honestly be surprised.
It is so crazy.
Are we
Women
going
cheat.
there?
Women
I'm
cheat.
saying women don't cheat.
I'm coming. Women cheat like mad. Women cheat like mad.
Women cheat like mad.
It doesn't, bro. It doesn't.
It does.
It
It
doesn't.
takes a lot of
It doesn't.
factors.
No.
Surprisingly, it
That is
doesn't.
that is
It doesn't.
It is such a stereotype.
I'm not saying women don't
It's
cheat.
a stereotype.
I'm not saying women don't cheat. As compared to you men.
That is not true though.
Listen to
It's
what
not
I'm saying.
true.
No, let me finish.
Welcome back to Banta. Is the saying, once a cheater, always a cheater, factual or not? Join us and let's find out. Cheating is always intentional and never a mistake. 3, 2, 1.
I believe cheating is intentional because nobody just wakes up and then decides to change passwords on their phone. No one decides to change contact names. So no one decides to delete chats and do secret meetups. So cheating is something you've sat and decided to do. It's never really a mistake to me.
Yeah, before someone cheats, I believe with her, you've sat down, you decided, you've planned, you've made a thorough plan on what to do with the other person you want to cheat with on your partner. So cheating is never a mistake because before you cheat on someone, you've had that kind of relationship with the person. You've sat with the person or you've spoken with the person. You know that, oh, if I cheat with this person, I think I'll be comfortable more than with my partner. Because most people cheat because they don't get attention from their partners or their partners don't have the kind of money they want. That's why they cheat. So I think before one person would cheat, the person have really, really thought about it. Yeah, so it's never a mistake.
I disagree because there are certain circumstances in which the act committed is not premeditated. There are certain circumstances where, for an example, you are working late at night and you are with a secretary or a partner, someone you are close to, and just in the heat of the moment, it occurs. It's not something you thought about. It's not something you pre-planned. It just occurred. So in such a circumstance, you can't necessarily say that that act was intentional. It wasn't intentional. It just occurred and it happened. And it probably won't be something you would want to repeat again. But for that circumstance and in that circumstance, that's occurred. So I don't think cheating is always intentional.
I mean, even if you look at, I agree with you, if you look at even the courtroom, people go to the courts for different kind of reasons. And judges sometimes classify cases based on, like you're saying, meditation, premeditated, and sometimes not thought through crime and all that. Same with cheating. I mean, some people, it's some people's life. They plan because they want to do it. That's the way they want to live their life. But for others, it just happened. And you can't say because some people do it every time. If it happens with me once, it means I premeditated. Things happen. Life happens. You might find yourself in a situation that you didn't really intend, but it has happened anyway. So I don't agree with you saying that people do that. That's the life people live. They want to cheat. So they store their girlfriend's number, mechanic and all that. But some people, it just happens because it's life. Yeah. Unless you don't agree with me.
Well, I don't agree with you. When Ato was talking, Ato made mention of, you said you don't always, you use the statement that it's not always, it's not something premeditated.
Yes.
Doesn't always happen. So most of the time, you think about it. Because there's this secretary in your office, she's pretty, she speaks well, she's fluent, and then you decide that, you look at her, you admire her, and then as time goes on, probably you might not have had any thoughts of that, but as time goes on and you see her, you guys communicate and all of that, you will think about it. So it's with time that it will get to that stage. You start going for dates, you start harmless. But then it will get to a time you wouldn't be able to, control that edge.
You see,
So you would end up
the
cheating.
way you're talking about it.
And sorry, let me cut
that's
you.
okay.
Cheating doesn't start from just having sex.
Exactly.
Right.
You
It
start
starts-
looking ahead lastfully. You start
It starts with the mind.
exactly.
When you
so
think about it, it just happens.
exactly,
So,
it starts with the mind. So as time goes on, you admire this person so much, nothing harmless, and then by the time you realize you guys are in bed.
So you see, I don't want it to be a gender thing, but women think differently and men think differently. Women have to premeditate if they want to be intimate with somebody. But for men, it's different. I might just see somebody and then I'm turned on by just seeing them. It's our sight that appeals to us. If what I'm seeing is nice, I don't have to premeditate it. But women are different. They have to actually read through, think about words, like hear good stuff before they get in the mood to do the act. But for men, it's different. So if you want to say, okay, it's premeditated, no, for men, that's not how. Once I see something, or even if the thing is not attractive and I'm in the mood, I might end up doing something.
So that makes it a character.
It's not necessarily a character.
it is.
But
That's I thought you can go.
Yeah, I think it is a little problematic if we start to look at cheating from an aspect of admiring someone. Because from your earlier point, you were saying that it doesn't start from the act itself. It starts from when you look at someone in an admirable manner, when you admire someone and start to think about them. People are pretty, you understand?
Right.
People are beautiful. And in certain instances, you can look at them and admire them. You can admire the beauty. It doesn't mean you've thought of doing something. It doesn't mean that you are setting plans in motion to cheat. You understand?
The moment you start admiring the person, it doesn't end there.
I'm actually waiting for him to finish talking because we're talking of you. We made an instance, and the instance was you are in an office. You are in an office,
Yes.
and you are with your secretary.
Yes.
That was the instance you made from the beginning.
Randa, if you want to base your argument based on the example he's made, then you're not being fair.
I'm not
I mean, he
basing
was
it-
trying to paint a picture to you.
I'm
That's
also painting the same picture. To him.
okay.
That
But then you have to be considerate. Considering that he's trying to let you understand that, okay, this could be a situation that the guy didn't think through, but then ended up having sex with the secretary or receptionist or whoever it is. That's just an example. There are many other instances where people have gone on work trips and they didn't think, they just went to drink alcohol and in the heat of the moment had sex with their colleague.
and
or
blame it
something.
on alcohol.
Not blame it on alcohol.
But alcohol is is a
When
factor.
he was under the influence of alcohol.
Exactly. You're not blaming
Because
it
if he
on
was
alcohol,
thinking
but it
right,
happens.
he wouldn't make that mistake. Eh,
I believe a loyal partner, no matter what, will not cheat, even under the influence
Exactly.
of alcohol.
You are
I
so
think-
disciplined.
I think
Sally.
it's
Yes.
problematic. It's a problematic stance to take because, first of all, we need to delineate what exactly counts as cheating and what does not.
Okay.
I don't think looking at someone in an admirable manner is cheating. You get it? I don't think admiring God's creation is cheating. If we start looking at it from that angle, then I think that everyone in this world would have cheated.
It actually starts from there.
It does not start
come
from
for
there.
you.
Actually
the
starts from
problem
there,
is
'cause-
not admiring the person.
Because if you are not
Because it's
disciplined,
actually- yes.
you admire someone, but you have discipline.
no,
Do
see-
you understand?
You see, you guys are, like I'm saying, we are moved by what we see. We are moved by what we see, and you guys are moved by what you hear, and then probably a lot of work has to go into. But we just see something and we're like, oh, this is really cool. This is nice.
Should I tell you how you are sounding right now?
How am I sounding?
You are sounding like, okay, so we are men.
No,
So
I'm
that's
not
how
saying.
it's supposed to be.
right.
I'm not
Yes.
saying. You see, that's why I said I don't want to make it a gender thing. But then we think differently because of our gender. So if you are saying that the thing is premeditated, I'm saying, oh, for men, that's not the case. Sometimes we just see something and we like it. We see a car and we like it. We see a woman and she's pretty. You see, that doesn't mean we want to have sex with them. Things happen and sometimes mistakes happen. So it's not every time that we intentionally go to town or a man will intentionally go to town just to cheat on their spouse or cheat on whoever it is that they are with. Mistakes happen. That's what I want to like make it clear.
When it comes to cheating, I don't see any mistake there. Because when you cheat once, you always have the thought of doing it. Because
Not really, though.
Not really.
if you are my partner and you cheat, that's it. Because if I'm with you, I'll be thinking, hey, right now he's doing this, he's doing that. I won't have that peace of mind to be with you. Once you cheat, I feel you are that person. So as I don't go about admiring people and all nah, she's nice and no.
So
And
are you saying you don't admire people?
I do.
So
I do,
So,
but it's
so,
not.
so, so in that instance, you've also cheated.
No.
So you see,
No,
it's
you guys are not
girls
getting
allowed
it.
to
No, you
admire
guys are
people,
not getting
but-
it. You are free to admire someone.
Okay.
Okay.
But it starts from there in the sense that if you are not disciplined,
You
because
go
I
there to
can admire you, but
Right.
then that is it. But
Right.
most men are not like that. It starts from the admiration, and then it's followed by flirty, flirty looks. I look at you in a lustful way. We start having harmless dates and all of that, and then it ends up like that.
Again,
most of the time.
flirting is not cheating, though.
Flirting
I mean,
is cheating.
Bro,
It is cheating.
the girls will come for you. You have to.
Oh, flirting
no.
is
flirting
cheating.
is not cheating.
Let's not go
though.
there, because
Flirting is witty banter with someone else.
Oh, come on.
It may have
Oh, please,
some.
say
it
something.
may,
No.
It may have some
Let's
charged
not-
undertones.
If we are to
but
talk
at the end of
about
the day, it's just
flirting,
flirty banter.
no, if you have to talk about flirting, then we're not going to finish today, honestly, because flirting is the biggest form of cheating. Like,
Wow.
it literally starts from there.
Wow.
Yes. So if we have to go there, then we can really, we'll be here for long.
Okay, so real quick, let's classify what you mean by cheating. You are saying admiring someone is cheating,
No,
but flirting is cheating.
flirting
Yes,
is cheating.
flirting is cheating.
What do you mean by flirting? Because when it comes to these things, I understand that these things are very relative. Do you get it? What I might consider as cheating might not be what you consider.
What do you consider as cheating?
Personally, I believe if I'm emotionally available to someone else aside the person that I'm committed with, not only emotionally, but emotionally in a romantic way,
Okay.
I'm available to someone else aside the person that I'm with,
And
then I'm cheating.
what's your definition for flirting?
I mean, I don't know.
Flirting
What's
flirting is just witty conversations. It may or may not have sexual undertones. You can flirt with someone without it being sexual. So if we are classifying flirting as cheating, I fail to see the point. I don't get it.
But-
And I disagree.
But men of today, whenever they flirt, you sense some sexuality and all that. And I love you. Leave your partner for me. All those stuff.
I'm trying to understand
No,
him, because flirting.
Flirting
Yeah.
comes with plausible deniability. You are not saying it straight away. You are not saying it directly.
Some people do. They
Exactly,
have
but
the
it starts
guts.
from there.
If you are doing that, then is it flirting? You are shooting your shot. If it's
No.
direct, you are just shooting your shot. You are not flirting.
You are flirting.
Leave your
That's
husband for me is not flirting. Oh. I'm not flirting with you. I'm chasing you. There's a difference.
Flirting is flirting. So you know you have a partner, right? And you allow another person to have such conversations with you and all. What's the essence?
Charlie, like I was saying, anyways, me, I don't believe that cheating is like premeditated all the time. Mistakes happen sometimes. Do you get it? And I mean, there are people that live their life to cheat, but there are others that also, okay, it just happened one time and it's a mistake. They regret it, they repent, and then they move on. It's not something that you can't group and say, oh, because you've cheated before, so
Well, I also stand by my point that cheating is
Intentional.
is intentional.
Yes.
And there's this motion when I cheat, especially with men. We are men, so I can cheat and then I can have my like
I can
eating
eat my
your cake and have it back, that kind of motion. So yes, they know that they've created a picture that no matter what, my partner is still there. I'm a man, so she has to understand. So I still stand by the fact that cheating is a character issue. It has absolutely nothing to do with mistakes. It's not a mistake.
Right.
Yes, there are instances where it might be a mistake, but even with that, it started somewhere.
If they cheat once and you forgive, they will do it again. 3, 2, 1.
So since cheating is a decision, and as a partner, your girlfriend or boyfriend or your wife cheats on you and you forgive the person, they assume because you forgive them, and you meaning that you can live with it, you can live with that attitude that they have. So basically, they'll do it behind you, and you won't. If this time around, they'll do it in a way that you will not even find out. So I don't condone those cheating. I don't condone all this forgiving your partner when they cheat and all that, because you are adding more petrol to the fire. They will do it and do it and do it again until you yourself, you are hurt. Yeah.
Well, most men feel when they cheat and you forgive, I think nothing significant happens after they've cheated. So once you forgive, it's like, yeah, I'm the man, and you're the woman. So you can forgive. Do you understand? But then I think that they feel nothing significant happens. You don't really do much. Oh, they plead for forgiveness and all of that, and then they go back to whatever they are doing. So yes, if you forgive, they will do it again.
So you see, in your first submission, I really like that you said that cheating is a character thing. That's important in this question, because if it's a character thing, then you should know that the person is able to change. If you are forgiving them, then you should know that, okay, I'm forgiving you. But then again, because it's a character thing, if I cheated, I know that, okay, I've repented of my action, and I'm putting measures or systems in place so I don't do it again. So if you don't give me grace enough, or you don't give me room enough for me to change from my ways and say that, oh, because I've cheated once, you are always so skeptical about me. You're always so, what's he doing this time? And you don't give me room to change into somebody else, then we are going to have a problem. But if you believe that, okay, I've forgiven him one and I don't hold that against him, that gives me more room to also say, okay, because my partner has given me that forgiveness, I should also hold myself more accountable so it doesn't happen again. And because I'm repented from that action, and I know that, okay, then now I have to do better, not only because of my partner, but because of me. Yeah, so you forgiving me once doesn't mean that, look at all these things that I've put my mind through, this thought process, just to know that, okay, because you're forgiving me, I have to change. And I mean, like I'm saying, for other people, that is the life they want to live. That is the life. That's why it's very important, the spouse that you choose. That's the life that they want to. But for other people, okay, it's a mistake that happened. If you forgive them, doesn't mean that they'll do it again. They've repented of their actions, and then from there, they're a better person, someone you really like.
I think human beings are rational creatures, right?
Right.
With human beings, once you do an act or you commit an act, and there are certain consequences, right? Your actions make your life flash before your eyes. So for an example, you're a man, you cheat on your wife is threatening to take away their kids, maybe you're an elder in church, that sort of thing. Then all these things, your reputation is on the line and all of that. In such a situation, you weigh the action against your reputation, your name, and all of that, right? And based on that weight, you can clearly see that cheating is not worth it as compared to the life you've spent
building everything.
Yes, building, right? So in such an instance, you can clearly see that even if we assume without admitting that it was intentional, that he did cheat, once he sees the consequences and he sees the repercussions of his actions, he's going to then sit down, reflect, and realize that, okay, the life I've built is worth keeping as opposed to this fling or this one-night stand or this secretary in my office. You understand? Right. So based on that, it will be pretty easy for him to change. So if you look at it from the standpoint of, okay, cheating is a character flaw. It is something he's going to do over and over again. And if I forgive him, he will still keep on cheating. Then you are not appreciating the growth and the adaptation of human beings, right? You are not appreciating the fact that people can weigh options and pick the one which is best for them in the long term. Yes, so based on these circumstances, I think it is very understandable for people to cheat and not repeat that act again.
If people can weigh options and see what's best for them, why didn't you weigh the fact that you had the idea to go and cheat before going into the act? Because as we said earlier, you don't just stand up and cheat. You think about it, you plot before you do anything you want to do. So at least you should sit down and say, oh, I have a family. If I cheat or if I do this, what happened? You shouldn't go into the act before you be thinking of, forgive me and family's sake and no.
My pushback is sometimes it's not real. You get it? You can have a theoretical conception of, okay, well, let's think about my wife, let's think about my family and all of that. But it doesn't really strike you that much as opposed to once you see the real consequences before your eyes, you see your wife packing her bags and trying to leave, taking the kids along. You know, she calls your family, your mom is looking at you a certain type of way. In that instance, it is really real and it's something that is happening.
Right.
Well, unfortunately, most men only feel or have that, what's the name? Is it repentance or that feeling that, oh, I shouldn't have done this. It happens in the moment after you've been caught. If you haven't been caught, all that you are saying, I mean, what you're saying is actually true, but it happens after you've been caught. When the opportunity comes again for you to cheat, you would do it, and then you'd forget about everything that you are saying.
Not really, though. It's not straightforward. It's not something that, okay, every person will do, right? It depends. It depends on the individual. It depends on the personality. It depends on what is at stake, right? So you can't use one conclusion for everyone.
Oh, no.
It doesn't work that way.
No. I'm not using one conclusion.
One last thing. The questions are not gender specific. You people are making it a men versus women.
I said I didn't want to do a gender thing.
Oh, we can actually.
But I mean, since we are gendered,
there are all instances.
why not?
Right? Okay.
I get you. There are all instances that we are given.
Okay.
You get it. So
Okay.
I'm saying that with men, most of the time.
So you see, when Atu was talking, he mentioned growth. It's like you guys don't give men the room to grow. Some men might come into a relationship very dysfunctional.
The cheating spouse. The cheating spouse, the room to grow.
And because they did something wrong one time,
yes.
they get labeled that card.
Right.
Meanwhile, like people sin, people do things, people fall short sometimes. So, and you guys should give like people generally, men, women, you should give people room or grace to be able to become a better version of themselves. And you should accept that, okay, like he's human. So he's gonna do better if he thinks like they're in the right pattern.
Well, I still stand by what I'm standing by. That if you forgive him once, he will cheat again. Yes, I still stand by that. And I also believe that most of the time, if a man knows that, oh, this woman loves me so much, she's always there for me, and he would still go ahead and then cheat.
Yeah, they take that lady
yes,
for
and
granted.
he feels, oh, definitely when I come back, the relationship is there for me. She's there for me.
So what's the opposite of that?
What's the opposite of what?
Of what you're saying?
I don't get you.
So you're saying if the man knows that if the woman will be there for him, he will take her for granted. So you're saying that women should not be there for their spouses, or you should be able to flee at any point.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying that most of the time men know that because when we are relating, when we are talking about gender, we are switching, like a woman cheats. Before a woman will cheat, it takes a lot for a woman to cheat. So that's why I'm not mentioning women here. Because before a woman is going to cheat, it's like something, a whole lot of
First of all, that's such a lie.
The ratio of women who cheat to men.
It is so crazy.
You'll honestly be surprised.
It is so crazy.
Women cheat.
Women cheat.
Women don't cheat.
I'm coming. Women cheat like mad. Women cheat like mad.
Women cheat like mad.
It doesn't,
bro. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
No.
Surprisingly, it doesn't.
That is.
It doesn't.
It's such a stereotype.
I'm not saying women don't cheat.
It's a stereotype.
I'm not saying women don't cheat. As compared to you men.
That is not true, though.
Listen to
It's
what
not
I'm saying.
true.
No, let me finish.
Women cheat as much as men. The difference
that's
is
not true.
The difference
I even
is
think more than men.
That's not true.
The only difference is a man who has been cheated on will most likely want to keep things under wraps and under G,
right.
Because it's a sort of
Yes,
it's a hit to you as a man for your woman to cheat on you. But with women, once women are cheated on, it's like, oh, you are the victim,
they get
and
a
the men are
sympathy
scum,
card.
and you are made some sort of matter.
Well, men
but with
are
the men,
scum.
it's like, oh, Charlie, this guy,
Yeah,
he's
I
not
agree.
all that. His woman is even cheating on him.
Yeah.
That is the only reason why. When women, it seems that men cheat more because
It
the
doesn't
man
seem-
himself will keep it under wraps.
That's
Men
not
do
true.
cheat
It doesn't
more.
seem like
That is
men,
honestly
men
what
actually
happens.
cheat more.
Men don't cheat
Oh,
more.
come
though.
on. Men cheat
Men-
more.
Men
If-
don't
if
cheat
you
more.
take- if you take the
Both
examples
genders
we get-
cheat an exact amount.
If you take
It's
the
not true.
examples of stories we get on social media, how many men have gone to run a DNA test on their children and realized all of their kids were in theirs?
And you know the funny part? Women cheat so much that every time you hear something about, okay, let's make DNA test compulsory and all of that, women are the
Women
ones
are the ones
complaining.
that come out.
Women's kick against having DNA tests on children so much because they cheat.
They know what they do.
cheat.
Yeah, they know what they do.
But cheating is a man's nature. So I don't know why you guys are switching. You guys are switching to women. Cheating is a man's
we don't want
nature.
to make it a gender thing.
It's not even
Let's
a
make
gender
it a
convo
general
right
thing.
now.
Let's
Yes,
make
we're
making it general.
Because if it's gendered, then it's gonna be really bad.
Cheating can stem from immaturity and not a person's true character. 3, 2, 1.
So I believe that as humans, we are continuously learning and then we are continuously evolving. There are things that we know now that we didn't know maybe 5 years back or 6 years back. So I can't say that because of my actions 6 years ago, I built a character that will take me through my life because of my actions 6 years ago. There are things that I'll learn and unlearn. Things that I'll learn and unlearn because, okay, I realized, okay, I learned this and it wasn't good, but I found out something new. So at a point in my life, I'm immature about certain things. That is why I may cheat. But as I grow up, I learn better things and I want to do better and I want to live better.
So I look at it from the standpoint of whatever work or whatever thing you're doing, you're going to start at a certain point, right? You're going to have a beginning. Once you enter into your job, on your first day, you're not perfect, right? You go into the job, you learn and unlearn, you practice and you perfect it. When you get into a relationship fresh, let's say you're 18, 19, 20, right? You get into it fresh. There are so many things that you have to learn during the relationship. And as with any new job, there are certain points where you make mistakes, right? So as a young guy in a relationship for the first time, there may be that instance where you make a mistake, you cheat. You can't say that then becomes your character trait, right? It becomes who you are. It is more as a result of you being immature or you learning the ropes of being in a relationship, being with someone else that this occurred. So based on that, we can clearly see that in some instances, it was just immaturity at that point. You didn't know how to handle conflict. You didn't know how to handle the rough patch. You didn't know how to handle the issues that came about with you and this person. And you met someone else, new person, variety, that whole sort of thing, and it occurred. So it's as a result of that immaturity at that point in time and not a defining character trait of a person or of anyone.
Well, I believe cheating is more of a person's character. Because assuming a lady, a young girl who is promiscuous or leads a promiscuous life, sleeps with men and all of that. When you grow, when you become old, get married, have children, it doesn't stop you from doing all those stuff. You still do those things. So I feel someone who cheats, it's more of a character. It becomes, even if it wasn't, it's continuous, and cheating is something, it's continuous. So you grow with it and it becomes part of you. It becomes your character.
Yeah, I believe before you enter a relationship, you have to have this kind of mature mind. Even if you are 18, as you said, you should know that this and this and this is very bad for me to do to someone. Before you enter a relationship, you have to be emotionally matured, I believe. That is a key thing, because for men, we shouldn't be gender biased, but I feel for men, when you cheat on them, it's different from when women cheat on men. So before you enter a relationship, you have to have this mindset that no, cheating is something that I shouldn't be doing in my relationship. It should be some kind of a mental thing for you, because when someone cheats on you, it actually drains your mental health. So I think before you enter a relationship, you have to be somehow matured. Cheating shouldn't be something to pitch in your relationship. No.
You see, I understand you, but you also have to understand that people learn and people grow all the time. The partner that you got involved with 5 years ago won't be the same after 5 years or after 2 years.
But it shouldn't mean that cheating should be.
They change in every other thing except for
it's not
when it comes
they
to
are still learning. They are still learning. If your partner is a chronic cheat, and then they've come and they realize, okay, this is a relationship I want to keep. Trust me, they will do everything in their possible best to get better. People learn, people evolve, unless the person doesn't want to learn, unless the person doesn't want to evolve. But we are talking about people that mature, people that want to do right, people that want to live right. If I want to live right, I'll make sure that everything that I have to learn to make sure that my partner is in my good books, I'll learn it.
But you shouldn't cheat before you learn how to.
I love what you're saying.
Right.
I love what you're saying in the sense that yes, we grow, we evolve, and all of that. But when it comes to that aspect,
why is it that people can give grace for certain actions and can't give grace for cheating?
I'm saying that when it comes
to
be
cut across. When it comes to forgiving your partner, it should be cut across. Whether cheating, whether this or this. Once you've decided that this is the person that I want to be with, I'll stay with them regardless their flaw. Do you get it? I mean, I don't say that be with somebody that will kill you. I mean, you have to first know that, okay, the person is willing to learn and get better. Do you get it? That is if you are going to a relationship, that's the first thing you should be looking out for. That the person is willing to learn all the time and then improve. Because if I'm coming to marry you, I don't expect that 5 years from now you'll be the same as you are. Character-wise, intellectually, I expect that you become better. So as you are becoming better, I'm also becoming better. And all this will require that we are both learning from each other. We are changing as humans. Do you get it? Same as the negative. There are things that I might have picked up before the relationship. But now I realize, no, I have to be more responsible. I have to be more dedicated. I have to be more involved in our relationship. So there are certain things that I will drop. Whether I like it or not, I have to drop it because it's very important for me to keep that sanity or that peace of mind that we carry in our relationship. I don't know if you understand.
You said something like, no matter the mistake your partner does, you should grow with the person. And there's this saying that you can't change a man, especially a cheating man.
What do you mean you can't change a man? What do you mean you can't change a man?
You guys say it mostly, that you can't change a man. So how am I going to change a man?
No, you evolve, you change. But then, yes, for instance, you have a man, maybe, aside you, he has 2 or 3 other ones. Yeah. So now I'm changing, I'm matured. So then I'll just take one. But you can't, cheating is a character. It's a person's character.
It's not.
You can't change it. So yes, you can decide to outgrow from that kind of attitude or character, but not completely. That there will be a little. That's why I'm saying that, yes, maybe he has 2 or 3 side chicks. But now I love my wife so much, I don't want to hurt her. So I'll just do one.
So you're saying this world is made up of people who cheat and people who don't. There's no gray area. Is that your point?
There's no what?
Gray area.
That's not what I'm saying.
Really?
That's not what I'm saying.
So that's how
based on what he's saying now.
You don't believe that
about a partner evolving, a partner changing because he wants to keep the relationship and all of that. That's what I'm saying, that yes, you would change, but you wouldn't change totally.
You can't say that. People.
I can say that.
People try to evolve to perfection. They might not seem 100% clean in the beginning, but once they've made up the conscious effort to learn, to change, I believe that they will get better and they will become the perfect person that you need them to be. People get involved in all kinds of things and are able to change. We've heard stories of people that were crazy and now are, excuse me to say, men of God. Do you get it? You can't say... wait a minute. Are you saying...
I want to get this point well.
Right.
Changed to being like a man of God. So it means you being a man of God means you've...
No, I'm using that as a general example.
But is it not presumed though?
Do you get it?
Is it not what?
Is it not presumed
that
if you are a man of God now, is it not presumed that whatever
that
negative things that you are doing, you have stopped, you are holy, exactly.
Well,
is
it
pretty
is,
good,
but
isn't it?
Let's
that's
not
not the
tread
case.
that. Let's not
Right.
tread that.
That's
sorry,
not the case.
sorry, I used that example, but I mean, you get the point. I'm
I
trying
get
to
you,
make.
I get
People actually change genuinely. They change. You can't say that. Kakra me de be ran kola de wo.
No, but
people
that is
can-
what you feel to
people
understand.
can actually. Why wouldn't you also believe that people can actually do a clean slate
No,
just
I don't,
because they want to do right with you?
No.
But my point is, when people get into relationships, right? Especially looking at it from the point of young people getting into relationships,
Right.
generally you extend grace to a lot of things, right? You extend
Exactly.
grace to people having anger issues. You extend grace to people not knowing how to deal with their emotions and their feelings in
Even
that moment.
sometimes abuse.
One of the things we ought to be mindful of is the fact that theoretically you can understand all these things, but it is a different ball game altogether if you are in the relationship and if you are dealing with these emotions. So, in the event that you are able to extend grace to people for anger issues and for any other thing, why can't we do same with cheating though?
we actually do.
Do you?
I
Because I
do.
know so many girls that will say, guy with cheating pet.
Yes.
If this guy cheats, no.
That's it.
Cheating is a no for me. So many girls use
You
that.
can't
statement.
extend grace to
Cheating is
someone
a no-no
who
for me.
cheats. No, since cheating is something that you think of. My issue is you sit down, you plan. You know that this that I'm going to do it to hurt my partner.
But I don't know why you're looking at it from the point of you sit down, you plan. A
It's
lot of
not
the time, it doesn't happen like that.
women
Who
don't
sits
just
down-
sit.
How
Men
many-
and women don't just stand up and cheat.
Sometimes it
It
just
does
happens.
though. That's the point
Tell
you're
me,
trying to make.
sometimes
It
it
happens
just
once, it happens, it continues to happen.
No, for some people it just happened once.
And as a result,
and they're repenting.
and it may be as a result of immaturity too. You don't know how to deal with your
That's
emotions.
what they
and
use.
your
Or it
feelings.
happened once, or it happens once. It's not all the time that it happens
You
once.
see, you can't generalize and say that because this guy is a chronic cheat, all men are chronic cheats.
Exactly.
There are some men that genuinely they just fell to temptation.
Ladies to point into temptation.
Yes, we agree.
But
I think
We
the point we are
agree.
trying to establish here is that women cheat too and cheat a lot.
So easy.
But the rate at which men forgive their partners when they cheat is very, very, very low as compared to women.
You see, my issue is people grow, people mature, people learn. People want to do right, especially if they treasure whatever it is that they are in. So if I had a character that I know affects my partner so much, I have every responsibility to change from it, and I'll be able to, just to make her okay, or to make sure that there's peace in whatever it is that we are building. You get it? So people mature. It's not, you can't say because I've sinned once, so it's a character thing. I've committed murder, so I'm a murderer. Or because I stole, so I'm a thief. No, it's the same thing when it comes to cheating. Because I cheated once doesn't make me a cheater. Or doesn't mean I'll always cheat. I can repent of my action and generally grow.
When you get a chance to cheat, after you cheat once, you do it again. I believe the evolving thing that you had said, it will be kind of difficult because once a man cheats, and he cheats, and he cheats, and he goes into a relationship, it is going to be a roller coaster for the lady, for her mental health here.
Does the type of cheating, emotional versus physical, change the possibility of forgiveness? 3, 2, 1.
I definitely believe the type of cheating will definitely have a role to play in whether or not you forgive the person. Because if it's emotional cheating, then you know that maybe there's a way in which you can salvage the relationship. Because if it's just emotions, then there was a lapse in communication or there was a lapse in connection with your partner. But in the event your partner goes all the way to get physical with someone else, and everything else occurs, it becomes a huge mountain to climb in terms of forgiving the person. Because once it's physical, then you know that a lot more went into it, a lot more, especially in terms of the actions, went into it. And for someone like me, I won't be able to overcome the thought of whatever your partner is doing physically with another person. right? So in such an instance, it will definitely be difficult to forgive the person. So the type of cheating that occurs plays a huge role in whether or not you forgive the person, in my opinion.
So relationship is more of emotional feelings. So the moment you get into that contact with someone, because I'm not available or something, you are getting that attention or no. It will actually get to me. I'll feel what is it that I'm not doing right? That you as my partner, you can't speak to me. That's it. As for the physical part, no.
I think emotional to cheat emotionally is forgivable because once, let's say you have an issue with your partner, misunderstanding or something, and then communication flaps, and then I have a friend that I talk to, or I have a friend that I communicate with. We don't have any sort of, but then we are humans. You can be talking to someone, and even sometimes without knowing, you're getting too much involved with a person emotionally. But when it comes to the physical aspect, it's more serious, like the thought of your partner kissing or, holding someone else, all of that. I think it's also plays a major role on forgiving my partner, like forgiving a partner or not. I feel the physical aspect is more serious.
So for the sake of the conversation, let me just define forgiveness as staying with them or not staying with them again. So if it comes to, when it comes to cheating, there's a lot that you have to weigh. Is whatever it is that the person is doing going to affect you? If it affects you emotionally, then you have the right to go. If it's affecting you mentally, then you have the right to go. If they are being physical now, then there's that's a whole ball game, because now we are talking about they're probably having unprotected sex, and then you're at risk of contracting STDs, cervical cancer, all kinds of things. So when it comes to that, you know that, okay, now I'm thinking about myself. I'm thinking about my mental space. I'm thinking about my physical health. Am I in a good place? Should I move on or stay with them? But I mean, if it comes to there's always a level that anyone can tolerate. Some people have a higher threshold. Some people cannot tolerate at all. So even though I believe that, okay, it should be based on level of the how big the sin is. Then again, it also relies on the other partner, how they are also able to tolerate. Okay, I'm okay with this. I can forgive you for this or not, because she might not forgive you for just flirting with someone. Maybe she saw a text on your phone and she might, but somebody else might actually even forgive you for even sleeping with another partner. So I believe there's always that depends on the other partner. And then either ways, everybody is allowed to be who they want to be.
Yeah, in as much as the emotional cheating, some of you can forgive. I believe is a stepping stone to the physical cheating, because you build that connection with the person, right? You make the person feel that, okay, I'm there, I'm here for you, and even though it's text, you meet in person, it's changed to something else because, my partner is not giving me attention, you are there, I'm your bestie or I'm your something like that. It starts with, hugging and all those things. I believe the emotional cheating, it's head somewhere. It doesn't just end on the phone. It's actually a stepping stone.
Do you understand that you can't be emotionally available 100% for your partner?
Yes, and it's something you should be able to talk about with your partner.
I mean, you can talk with them, but everybody thrives off a community, not just an individual. You are my spouse or you are the person I'm committed to, doesn't mean all my emotional needs should come from you. Obviously, you can't satisfy them. And my emotional needs are huge. I might need emotions in ways that maybe just my spouse might not even understand. Because when we go out with the boys, it is an emotional need that we are satisfying. Do you get it? That our wife cannot give us or our spouse cannot give us.
But it's not romantic.
It's not romantic. Do you get it? It's not. But in a lot of instances, your partner might think because you are giving this person attention or because you are communicating in this particular manner, then it means you've got something to do with them. And there are excuse me to use ladies that will actually get offended if the guy is spending more time with their boys. Because they feel like, hey, why are you doing all this with your boys? But I mean, they are also satisfying some level of, let me use the word intimacy that just the wife cannot provide. And that creates like that balance.
But real quick though, when we are talking about emotional cheating, are we talking about just having a strong connection with someone, or are we talking about sexually explicit text messages and stuff? How are we defining emotional cheating right now?
I mean, if you are giving somebody that romantic, emotional need.
So it may or may not be sexually explicit text messages.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like telling someone about your day, stuff you want to do, all of that, and not doing the same for your partner.
Yeah.
Yes, I think in that instance, it's something you can definitely come back from, right? Because in case you are caught, you can just realign and get back with your partner, have that conversation, reset and move on. Right. But if it's physical, it's a different ballgame
So
altogether.
certainly there are type of cheatings that can be forgiven. And then some too drastic. I mean, you went out of your way.
But you'd be surprised at the number of people that forgive physical acts of cheating.
Oh, yeah. People don't really care like that.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. People don't care.
I think
Some people remember.
People remember.
I think they care. I think maybe the love is more than the pain or the good memories are more than the,
Sometimes they are with you and they are planning for revenge.
Planning for revenge. Oh.
Yes, who knows?
Easy. I think a lot of people feed on the narrative on social media that when a guy cheats, don't forgive
Don't
him.
forgive that.
But like you were saying, when it comes to the actual work, it's different. Because you can't tell me you've built 5 years with someone and then because they made a mistake and cheated, you are willing to just let all that go. Maybe you have kids at that time.
Emphasis on they made a mistake.
They made a mistake. Maybe you
Of
had
course,
kids.
that's what they say all the time. They made a
United
mistake.
families, like you guys are building a life. You can't say, okay, because they went to a work trip and did something bad, you won't forgive them. Oh, come on. Let's be real.
Trust can be rebuilt if both partners are willing to try. 3, 2, 1.
You're on our side now.
So yeah, from the onset, we believe cheating is not a mistake, but in some instances, you cheat on your partner, and he or she finds out, and they realize that whatever you went to do was their fault. In that moment, one of them can actually be like, okay, we can work this out, or I can forgive you and stay, but don't repeat such or something like that. So I think trust can be rebuilt. Yeah.
My opinion also, I think trust can be rebuilt if both are willing to try. And there's this saying, if you want an open book, then be an open book. Yeah. So I believe once there's a mutual agreement and there's transparency and honesty, I think it can be rebuilt.
So what do you say?
For the sake of this conversation, I know I raised my green flag, but I want to take a contrary position. I think trust is like a glass plate, right?
Right.
Once it shatters, that's the end of it. No matter how much you forgive in a relationship, or no matter how much you want to make it work, once that initial trust is broken, it will never be the same again, right? There will always be thoughts lingering in your mind. Oh, where's my partner? What's my partner doing? What's going on? You will always think about it. You always have doubts. You always have second thoughts. You always have suspicions. And the marriage will never be the same again, right? So no matter how much you want to work towards that trust, rebuilding that trust, moving forward, I think once that initial trust is broken, it just won't be the same again. And no matter how much you try, and no matter how much you push forward, trying to make it work, at the end of the day, it might not in the end.
You see, I believe to be able to be in a relationship with someone, first off, you have to understand that it is something that you are building together. Do you get it? And certainly, nobody knows 100%. Like, I mean, we are all in this together to learn about each other. So, I mean, trust might be broken in the beginning because either parties had so much expectation and those expectations weren't met. But I mean, if we realize that, okay, we are treading the wrong grounds, we can take a step back and then assess the situation and be like, okay, these are the things that we need to do to get what we lack. To get it. But unless it's in an instance where you don't want anything to do with the person again. But if the person is the one that you've decided to be with, I mean, you go back to the planning table. Okay, these are the things that I did that you didn't like. These are the things you also did I didn't like. Then we look at ways, put up structures, like be accountable to each other. Open book, like you were saying. Then we know that, okay, from here, I can totally trust. Maybe we do the plan for 6 months and we know that, okay, this is your routine. This is my routine. I can totally trust that, okay, now when you say you're going out to work, I know where you are. Maybe you are sharing your location with me now, unlike before. Like there are things that can actually be put in place to build that level of trust again. And it can actually even be better than before. Because before, you guys just had expectations of each other and it was broken. But now you guys have been intentional, put to work into actually making sure that I'm accountable to you and you're accountable to me. And to me, that's a better level of trust. That's a better level of trust because I know that, okay, because you've been able to agree with me on this subject, that we are going to get better at this, whether we like it or not.
I don't think so, though. I don't think so. Mm-hmm. Let me give you an example.
All right.
If you have a friend who has ever stolen money from you, right?
Right.
No matter how much he pleads and begs for forgiveness,
right,
you are never going to put him in a situation where your money is left unguarded ever again. Right. You understand?
That's right.
It's the same way in a relationship. So your spouse has cheated on you. You decide to work things out because of the love and everything else. Whenever anything comes up, you quickly fall back on, you did this to me, you might be doing this again. You'll be checking his phone, you'll be checking Snap to see where he's at, all these sort of things. And once that trust is broken, it creates an environment where you, the person who has been cheated on, you always have to second guess yourself. And the person who did the cheating, you always have to do twice to prove yourself, to make sure that, listen, calm down, everything is okay, I'm not doing anything else. And at the end of the day, it will create a relationship based on the guy trying to overstretch himself and the lady being full of doubts and trying to ensure that her guy is not cheated. And it will ultimately collapse.
You see, when I was talking, I mentioned that both parties have to be on the same page. You understand?
You might genuinely try to work it out, though. Because I know people that have stayed in relationships, you love the person too much. You just can't leave. But at the same time, too, you can't forget what he did, right? You can't forget the actions he took that hurt you so much, such that even if you are trying to make it work, the demons of the past just won't let you go.
There are actually relationships that get better after things become rough.
Yeah.
So you're saying
lots of instances where, both partners mess up. Either one cheats or disrespect or any other thing, like something that would probably collapse the relationship. But then both partners decide that let's work this out. Let's do this. The doubts and the second guess, and yes, it does exist. It doesn't mean that is why we are putting in the work together to make it work. Do you get it? So yes, it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. But once both partners agree that we want to make this work,
right,
I don't think it's... And most relationships get better after the storm. Trust me.
They actually have to want to make it work. You get it?
I don't think with the high rate of divorces we have in the world, it is as a result of both parties not trying to make it work.
Honestly.
Or not having enough of that will to make it work.
They don't want to make it work.
That-
They don't
Just
want
as
to.
they
No,
said,
no, if
Two
shouldn't be
people do not
one-sided.
divorce just because
If
they are
two
not trying to make it
if
work.
two people will
That
agree.
is not the reason.
If two
If
people will
that's the
agree
word,
that
it's
it
an
is
agreement.
actually for life, we don't want a
I
situation
promise.
where one person
Yeah, it
agrees
shouldn't be
and then the
one-sided.
other is
I promise-
50-50.
I promise there are so many things where people have willed it to make it work that didn't work. They are
To
just
make it work, one is
It's-
either saying it out of, okay, let's make
Yeah.
it work. But if you
But if
really
both
want
of
to
them,
make it work,
it has
trust
to be
me, it will
it has
work.
to be a two-sided thing.
without
Exactly.
without trust, relationships can't work. No matter how much you want to put your all into it and trying to make it work, it won't work if the initial trust is broken.
That's not true.
If a partner has cheated on you and you figure it out, no matter what you try to do, it just won't work in the end.
Then you don't want to continue.
Exactly.
No,
Then
that is
you
not
don't
it.
want to
No, that is
continue.
not
If-
it. A
no,
relationship will not fail because there was a lack of love, right?
It's not about love. We are
it's
talking
not-
about trust now.
I know.
From
I know,
the
I know.
onset, you
If
were
you believe-
saying cheating can be a mistake. At that instance, and you feel to forgive your partner, maybe because you were not there, as I said, you were not there emotionally, or you were not doing something right, and your partner cheats, and he or she communicates to you, and you want the person, you want the relationship, and you guys communicate, speak things out, and want to make things right. It shouldn't be one-sided. If it's one-sided, it won't work. It has to be mutual. Yeah, at that point,
First
it will work.
of all, the fact that someone commits a mistake does not mandate the other person to forgive and stay in the relationship,
Certainly,
right?
certainly, yeah.
So it's not mandatory that, you've made a mistake, so I'll have to stay and make it work. The point I'm trying to make is that you can still love the person. You can still want to be with the person. But the fact that this action has occurred, which has completely made you see the person you are with in a completely different light.
So it's a forgiveness issue. It's not a trust
Exactly.
issue.
It's either you
It
want
just
it
means
or
that
not.
you can't forgive the person. Like I was saying in the other session,
It's-
people have a yardstick that I can forgive this and I
Cannot
can't forgive
forgive
this.
this, yeah.
I can forget this and I can't. But it should be a plain thing because sin is sin.
No,
You
but
get-
you see, you can forgive someone and not trust the person. That's why I was bringing up the point of you have a boy who has stolen from you. At the end of the day, Charlie, he be your boy. Boys. You've known him from childhood and all of that. You're forgiving him, all right. You don't trust him to be with Charlie. You get some 4K, be fiscal cash for there. Then your boy did there. It won't happen.
But
You
this
understand?
is someone.
So that's the point I'm trying to bring about with the trust and the forgiveness, right?
Right.
You can forgive someone, but no matter how much you love the person and no matter how much you want to push for it to work, the trust will be broken.
I
So
think
you have to
the
understand
instance he's using, the instance you are using is a bit, because if you are talking of boys thing, we are talking about relationship here.
Ato has to understand that trust is built. One problem with us is that we go into a new relationship with so much trust for the partner, and then we have so much expectations of them. When we've not built it, we don't even understand them. We don't even sometimes know who they are. But in instances where, they fall short, and they actually want to make it work, it is now that we are going to sit down, like I was saying, and then build a system that will make me trust you. Even if it's finances, we build a system. Okay, I know if I put all the money in the joint account, you're going to spend it. So because of that, we put a system. Every week, there's $100. Every week, there's $100. Then that manages your spending. So I can trust that, okay, you don't go overboard. Do you get it? So trust actually can be built. And that is the only way that you can trust someone. If you actually intentionally build it with them. Because if you just go with expectations, you'll be shocked. But you actually go to a planning table, plan that, okay, these are the things that we can do so that my mind can be at rest, so that your mind also can be at rest. Then we can fully trust each other.
Personally, I've always thought that the best type of trust is the type that you don't even need to think about, right? Especially if, for an example, if your parents come through for you
Right.
all the time, you don't need to think about, do I have to trust my dad? Do I have to trust my mom? It is just there. It's inherent in you that, Charlie, old boy will pull through for me, that sort of thing, right? So in relationships as well, the best type of trust is the one where you don't even have to think about it. I just know my partner is not going to do this. If you have to put systems in place in order to ensure that it works and all of that, you are doing too much. You are doing too much. It's not inherent, right?
At all.
And I think at a certain point, once there are systems in place, people may falter, people may fall down. Maybe he's supposed to text you every 2 hours and stuff like that. He's in a meeting, that sort of thing. He doesn't text, and it's late at night. And all of a sudden, you're starting to think things and all of that, right? So ultimately, I believe that once a person cheats and that initial trust is broken, you are just not going to get back the relationship again. It won't be the same way, and it will ultimately fail in the end.
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check out our social media platforms at Banta Space for more engagements. See you same time next week.